Gracious greetings, Saints, Eagle family, and guests. Welcome to another edition of Living Water for a Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, you're probably wondering, why am I in the front of this hospital? Well, we're going to talk about for the next couple of weeks. Do you believe people can change? Can people change? Scripture that I want to focus in on, there'll be a couple while we discuss this, but the first one is Romans 12:2. You know it well, and it simply says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed." Now, in front of this hospital, because many people come to the hospital, unfortunately to emergency, to get care, to make a change. And I'm sure you've heard that saying, the only thing constant in this world is change. But can people change? Well, people come in here and they're sick, they're ill, they have broken bones, they have organs that are no longer functioning, they have wounds that need attention and need care, and they walk away and those organs are working, they walk away and those bones have been reset, they walk away and they are healed from their calamity, their issue. Change has actually occurred in their lives. So does change actually happen in our lives? I think we can all see it. If you take an early picture of yourself and look at yourself, you will also see that some changes have occurred if you look in the mirror right now. You look around, the world is constantly changing. Maybe not in ways that we want it to change, but change does occur. When Paul is talking to the church at Rome and he says, "And be not conformed to this world," he's actually saying, as believers, we should make a change. We should not look like, we should not smell like, we should not taste like those that are in this world. And so we also know the scripture says we are a peculiar people. We're a holy nation. We're a royal priesthood, right? All of those things, a peculiar people. Something is different about us when we are not conformed to this world, but we are in fact transformed. Transform, we know, comes from the Greek word metanoia, where we get our word metamorphosis, which, of course, the metamorphosis that we know of the most here is probably the old caterpillar turning into a butterfly. You've heard that so many times, but that speaks to, if you would, some type of permanent change. And that's the word we're going to kind of hang on to. Can people change, or can people permanently change? But remember that old quote that says the only thing constant is change. Also, what we want to challenge ourselves with, I want you to start thinking through, can people change? Then also, can you change, or have you changed? And then lastly, do you allow other people to change? You know how it is, sometimes we lock people into whatever they do is also who they are, and they can never come outside of that. Yeah, if my best friend that I knew for 20 years was my best friend, and all I knew that person to be was someone that supported and looked after me, but then all of a sudden they robbed a bank, the news would then say, "This is such and such a bank robber." That is what they would report. And I would say, "That's not a bank robber, that's my best friend." And so it's easy in this world for us to label people based on what they do rather than who they are. And so can people change? Have you changed? And lastly, do you allow others to change? Well, again, in Romans 12:2, we say that be not conformed, but be ye transformed. If we allow God to make the transformation, man, of course, all of us know change can occur. I can give you a quick example for myself. I know when I was growing up, my friends and I, talking about friends again, we would have cussing contests. Yeah, I know, kind of crazy, kind of silly and childish, but we would see if we could make a good sentence using the most amount of cuss words, and whoever could use the most and make the most cohesive sentence, if you would win. But there was a stage in my life where I said, "Lord, I know this is not a good witness around my friends to cuss. And so I'm praying and asking you to give me a headache every time I even think about a cuss word." And from that moment on, I get a little headache every time I even think about a cuss word, and I stop cussing. I don't know what day I stopped cussing. I just know it went away. Metamorphosis, that transformation that non-confirmation had actually come to pass. So I praise God for that. That is a possibility of change, but it doesn't mean that the thought won't still be there. It doesn't mean that things don't come in. People will still say things and they'll substitute the cussing word for something else. Get that. But it's important for us to make sure that we do all we can to not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds. Well, we're going to continue this journey next week, and we're going to continue talking about, do you believe people can be changed? We're going to dig into it a little bit more, talking about new creatures. Continue to make God proud in all you say, think, and do.